Welcome back, family. Lancescurv here of Lancescurv.com. This is a shoot from the hip monologue, where I'm going to reveal my thoughts on certain things. I've been meaning to have an open discussion on artificial intelligence, and we will do that. I want to say that we're making great progress with our projects here that will be revealed in the next few days. I'll reveal it on the membership side of YouTube. But it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And I feel really good about the year 2024 and the work that I put in. But we're going to talk about artificial intelligence, negative forces, CERN, and how they all tie in. Now, I'm going to have to say a disclaimer. These are not facts. These are my opinions. These are my perspectives. But at the risk of sounding mentally unstable or a little crazy, I'm going to say what I say. And most people might not get it, and some will. Okay. Remember years ago when the government, I'm not sure quite who, remember this is a very informal discussion, but it was several years ago when it was mentioned that alien contact had been made. But they never said anything more about that. Okay? And I wondered why. But we feel that alien contact has been made from many decades ago. The whole Area 51 and the crashing of a spaceship and alien bodies taken out. Who knows? But there's something going on. And with these drones flying around, but the government doesn't want to say anything about it, and this fog, this mysterious fog that leaves a funny taste in your mouth and makes you feel a little nauseous and sick. It's been all over the world, UK, various states in the United States. This thick fog that's uncharacteristic of how fogs work, where usually they dissipate after a while, but these fogs don't. And many people have complained about the taste of sulfur in their mouth because of the fog and the accumulation in their membranes, the nose, the mouth. And that's the kind of taste it would leave. There's a lot of things that are done that we don't question because it's considered normalcy. It's right there and then. They move in secret. Now remember when they had the C-19 going on where we had to wear the masks. I don't even want to say the name because they might knock this video down. At that same time, they were putting up 5G towers. And by the way, I believe China now has 6G technology, so they say. But it was saying that, especially in Orlando, Florida, where I live when this was going on, that this was 2020, that you had to have a curfew because of the C-19. Really? So, I have to say the word virus. So viruses have a schedule? When you caught the flu, was it that you can go around all day and nighttime they'll come out and get you? So you had to stay in on the curfew? I don't think so. We're so caught up in social media and gossip and celebrities, these fake people chosen to distract, that work along with the powers that be. And we get so caught up in it. We have this smartphone technology and our minds are so incarcerated, captured, jailed, imprisoned. And we don't really see. We don't do critical thinking anymore. And when you do, or when you ask a question that's beyond the range of what most people can think of, they think you're crazy. I don't care. This is going to be a crazy channel from this point on because I'm going to speak my mind. Now, let me get back into it. They said alien contact was made. You know what? I'm going to throw it all at you at one time. Let's just throw the whole plate at you. AI? Where did AI come from? I researched that, and they said it was being developed for many decades. I don't buy that. You don't go from 0 to 60 that quick, and you don't have some type of help. There definitely has been some type of other contact beyond the scope of human development, meaning that there's no way that man developed AI that quick. AI came from somewhere else. AI to me was a trade-off. And somebody sold us out. The governments of the world sold us out, while there are other beings amongst us. As far as I'm concerned, aliens are demons. I'm not saying demons in the Christian sense, and again, I am. But I mean negative energies. Well, where do they come from? Well, we have this thing called CERN. Let me find the best explanation. Okay. And they give you a bunch of bull. They give you a bunch of bull with this explanation. Let me just see. Okay, let me pick the best one. Okay. CERN, or the European Organization for Nuclear Research, is a laboratory that studies the fundamental structure of the universe through particle physics. What CERN does, CERN uses some of the world's most powerful particle accelerators to collide subatomic particles at nearly the speed of light. The collisions create a trail of subatomic particles that scientists use to study how particles interact and the fundamental laws of nature. They mess with things that they don't need to mess with, okay? Let me see if I can find something else. It's a lot of technological gobbledygook that they're explaining here. Like, they say things so it can go right over your head and it sounds good. And you probably say to yourself, well, I'm not going to ask any more questions because I don't want to look stupid. What's the real deal with this thing, right? So, if you remember in Chuck D. Public Enemy's rap back in the 80s, Party for Your Right to Fight, and it had a line that sounded like, some folks cut the power and emerge from hell. Let me, while I'm doing this, and pardon me, this is just me talking, Public Enemy. We're hanging out right now. Public Enemy, Party for Your Right to Fight. Now, if this was a normal live video, I would have lyrics. Okay, lyrics. Great. I would have had this all prepared, but I just thought, oh, hey, hear the words. Let me see. I'm not going to say the whole rap. I just want to get that right. I remember that, and we spoke about that. Me and my brother, when he was of sound mind at the time. Okay, yeah. Then at the hour of 12, some force cut the power and emerged from hell. It was your so-called government that made this occur, like the grafted devils they were. And I remember him in an interview hinting at CERN. That's why those lyrics were there, okay? And the government has something to do with it, and I think it's 23 governments that have a hand in CERN, and Israel is one of them. And their cooperations with China and several other places, and it's in Switzerland, this CERN. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this, and I didn't jump away from AI. We're going to tie all this in together. CERN, in my opinion, in layman's terms, ripped the barrier between the physical world and the spiritual realms, and I say realms in plural, right? Just roll with me with this for a while. And when they ripped the very fabric, the barrier that kept the physical from the spiritual realms, which we transcend as spiritual beings purely when we leave this body. There are some good energies. There are some bad energies. There are some, what I would say, angelic. I don't want to say angels, but I'll say angelic and good, because I don't want to sound too religious, because this is real. People say, oh, this is crazy. Well, listen, when you cut the power off on your lamp, maybe you have a lamp next to your bed at the side table. Is the lamp dead? No, the power's out of it. When you have a loved one who has transitioned and their body is there, they are not dead. The energy that brought life to that body is out of that body. You can say the body's dead because that's just a vehicle. We talk about how many of us don't believe in those creepy things. But when you can't get a signal on your Wi-Fi, you don't say that then. You don't see the Wi-Fi now, do you? Oh, I'm not getting a signal. Something's wrong. Because there are unseen energies around us. Man may emulate that in the form of Wi-Fi or some type of Bluetooth signal, but this is how it is in nature. Man emulates nature. Man is a Johnny-come-lately to the things that are already here. And if you don't understand that, then you need to click off of this, because we're not going to get along on this video. And I'm not saying that what I'm saying is fact, but consider the thought and tie it all in. Number one, that CERN has ripped the barrier between the physical and the spiritual. I'm going to come back to that, right? AI is not something man-made. It came from somewhere else, right? So when we look at AI and how we play with it, we can have things written. We can have them do artwork for us. They can figure out complicated things for us. Why is it for us? Where did it come from? And if we have access to AI that can do so much, what does the government have? What do the so-called powers that be? And I say it that way because I don't know the powers that be, the shadow governments. I don't know them. They hide themselves. You may see a government that is not going to be upfront with you, right? But there are people behind them. They're the front, they're the face. Now let's tie it all in together on what I feel this is. And I want to hear your opinion on this. Maybe I'm wrong at the end of the day. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm partially wrong and partially right. But I smell a rat. And I'm going to tell you what it is that I feel. When CERN was successful in their quest that has been going on for decades, going on before I was born, and I was born in 1963. The bottom line is, when they ripped the fabric and barrier between the physical and the spiritual realms, from good to bad, from heaven down to what they would call hell, there were so many energies released on the face of the earth that you could not see. Let's not get into that argument again, because you have no grounds. You don't see your Wi-Fi, but you know it's very much real. We don't see these beings, but we know it's very much real. And these aliens they're talking about, as far as I'm concerned, are demonic forces. Why don't they come and just get us, like in the movies, just attack the humans? They're not going to do that yet. They will do that soon. And they're allowed here by the government or the governments of the world, many of them. And whoever isn't down with CERN, they know about what's going on. Why? Because it's a trade-off. We got this AI that needs to interact with humans in order to pick up the mannerisms of humans so they can emulate us. And we're so caught up in social media that was given to us. Just make up, and this is 2025 now. Whether you know it or not, YouTube has been around for 20 years. Whether you know it or not, Facebook has been around for 20 years. And MySpace before that. And Black Planet before that. And I always give Black Planet their props because everything else came behind that, and they borrowed a page from their playbook on how to build their, and then they improved on certain things. But now Black Planet is nothing but a booty call site. I don't know why one would go there. At one point, I had 352,000 followers on there, and Black Planet was the precursor to me being known on other platforms. Even though I've crushed platforms and started all over again, and my numbers are low, but the Lancescurv name is out there, and many of you know that. Let me know when you discovered my name, not just this channel, because this channel is brand new. This channel is not even a year old yet. I'd like to know. 2005, 2001, 2011. Old SCURV been around for a while. Let's get back to the point. As far as I'm concerned, these demonic forces have approached the leaders of this world with an offer. We will give you technology beyond your wildest dreams. We'll give you technology that would take thousands of years for you to get a handle on your own, and maybe not, because you're so brutal and hateful. We'll give you this in exchange for access to humans. Why? Because we're disembodied. We don't have bodies anymore, and we want to enjoy the carnal. And this is why there's so many social media platforms out here that specialize in decadence. When you're a truth teller and when you speak truth to power and tell it like it is, they shadow ban you. But if you're half naked and talking about sex and talking about things to titillate not just the younger generations, but the older generations also, you are involved in the carnal, which these demonic forces that are now roaming the earth can enjoy because you let them in your life. I'm going to speak adult now. I'm not going to use profanity. But when you're watching pornography and you're masturbating it, what you see, what you choose to see, whatever your fantasy is, whatever you've done in your life and you want to do it all over again, or you just got a thing for this thing, whether you're watching group sex, lesbian sex, threesomes, whatever, you ain't the only one in that room. And when you stroke yourself to the climax, you ain't the only one enjoying it. Because when you open yourself up sexually, the very way that sex works, when you're with a real person, you bond. Well, how do you bond? You bond because on a physical and spiritual and emotional and mental level, you are opening up. And when you open up, it's like clasped hands and fingers, and you hold somebody's hand, and now you're bonded. But what are you bonding with when you're stroking yourself by yourself and you're telling these demons what it is that you like by what you're watching? You don't masturbate to the Nature Channel watching two bulls or a bull and a cow, whatever, animal dogs mating. Maybe you do because you're into bestiality, but it tells you, or you tell them what it is that you like. And that's why it will present itself to you to keep you trapped in your fetish so these demons can utilize your body for their pleasure, because for so long they were trapped and couldn't get back to earth the way they wanted. But they call them aliens. And I feel they have an ability to cloak themselves, like the cloaking device on Star Trek, where they would cloak the whole ship, and Scotty would say, "The dilithium crystals, Captain, they're not holding up." And the ship would appear again. Well, there are things that move around us just like Wi-Fi. Just because man created Wi-Fi not too long ago, we think that that there's not other things in this natural world that are amongst us, whispering into our ear? And please, somebody help me. There's a Bible verse that basically says, not exactly, it basically says the devil, Satan, whichever terminology they use, can whisper thoughts into your mind, but he can't read your mind. So how many of our thoughts are not ours? When we watch porn at night and go to sleep on that, and we connect with these other forces and allow them to enjoy our bodies. And they want to keep this going, so it's going to put a thought in somebody else's head who has the same kink that you do, and here you go meeting this person. Oh, and it's so good and fabulous. You understand? It doesn't have to be just that. It could be alcohol. It could be that you're a former alcoholic and you were clean for 12 years, and now all of a sudden you just have a casual drink thinking that, well, I beat the habit for so long, and now you find yourself back into being an alcoholic. These demons want to keep you vibrating on a low level, because at the end of your life, and again, this is my opinion, at the end of your physical life, and let's just say you Wi-Fi out, meaning that the unseen energy of you is separated from your body. I don't know where it goes after that, but let's just say these demonic forces are here to harvest your soul. So they're going to give you what you think you want on a decadent level to keep you fat in sin. The righteous who try to live a pristine life, even when you slip and fall, those souls taste nasty and are repulsive to these demons who are waiting for you to transition. No matter where you are, they can see your soul. They can see your spirit. And when it's been indulging in decadence for so long, they got you. I remember Tucker Carlson was in an interview where he spoke about things as such to a point, and he didn't want to talk about it no more. And he was shook. And it was a slice of something he said that I took from that, and it all added up to everything I've been feeling about this whole AI thing. Now, as far as AI, we've become dependent on it so much, and it's just going to get worse. And it's robbing us of our creativity. It's robbing us of our soul on those levels. We're becoming dependent on it, and we're giving our soul, our human spirit, our creativity, our thoughts, we're handing it over to AI because we're asking it to do things for us specifically, and it's doing it for us, and it's becoming a crutch. Tell me this, and I've said this before, but I'm saying it in a different way, and I'm going to tell you how I said it before. Why is it that when they want to cut school programs, the first thing that goes, the first thing that goes is art programs and music programs? You ever thought about that? Why? Well, in my opinion, they know that when you are a creative, you are a creative person, you see the world different outside of the box that they're trying to put the masses of the people and population in. And you're a threat. And when you really look at, I'll say, all revolutionaries, in whatever capacity you're revolutionary, doesn't mean you're revolutionary and you're leading an army with guns and ammo and tanks. You could be a quiet revolutionary in the corporate world and, change things around. You could be a revolutionary in the world of religion, bringing it back to what it should be, not the business and celebrity worship of pastors that it is. So we have all kinds of revolutionaries, right? You can look like one. Oh, look, he's big and strong and has all these muscles, but you could be a revolutionary fool, right? But they know that true revolutionaries always have the mind of a creative. and are creative people, whether it's drawing or painting or singing or some abstract thing beyond the whole hum way that they want us to live and accept that life is this way and we have to go to our jobs and we work until we're retired and usually we get sick or we die right after we retire and the system sucks from us while three people, what is it, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk have so much wealth in America, about $1 trillion between all of them. When they have more wealth than the bottom half of the total American citizen income, right? And it's getting worse for that bottom half. So tell me, how is this possible? You see, I always used to think when I was a kid, like so many people were barely making it. I would hear adults say, well, you know, I work so hard and it's just like I barely have enough money to pay my bills. My nose is just above the water and sometimes it sinks below. And I've been hearing this all my life. Who decides how much you make? Who decides what the power of our money is? And don't tell me the Federal Reserve. They may adjust interest rates to keep you barely afloat, but it's always that way. They print money as they want it, the United States, right? But if you do it, it's counterfeit. If they do it, it's legal. We can never get a break. But this is why also the amount of wars, the threat of war, the amount of killings, and the amount of decadence, not just decadence, but how people go from 0 to 60 to want to snuff each other's lives out. It happened in Jamaica, Queens, where I used to live. The 10 people got shot, youngsters, teenagers. Look at what happened in New Orleans. The guy looked like a perfectly normal guy selling real estate years ago on his videotape, and he got radicalized. He had money problems, divorce, child support problems, broke, and something in him snapped. And this is why I say these days with so many demons, let's just say it that way, with so many demons running across the face of the earth, be cool with how you deal with people because you don't know what's on their mind. And you can think they're the most polite, cordial, intelligent person, and they'll stab your eye out. I hate to say it that way. You just don't know what goes on, what's on their mind. Be careful who you let into your life. You don't know what demons, aka aliens, they have inside of them. And this is by design. The plan for social media was for us to give up our information, our face, our opinions, so these demons can absorb it. I remember some young sisters that I knew in the hood. I'm not getting up on that old Facebook and telling my business and showing my. Now you can't keep them off of it. Just several short years after they said that, you see the inside of their house, you see their car, you see daggone near see their coochie. They showing everything, taking pictures in the house, and you see how nasty it is in the background. But they were so guarded and careful before. We giving it all up. Don't you think they can replicate us by now? You know how AI can take your voice and replicate it? It's getting scary now. They can accuse you of committing a crime, and now they have your face, your voice, WhatsApp, recording your voice, all the things you say, all the things you send. Now, you know we're adults. We send all kind of pictures over WhatsApp now, don't we? And emails. They have it all, and they can use it against us. And for some reason, I feel they will use it against us. From what I'm hearing, they're going to start having podcasters that are made from AI to sway the opinion of the masses. And people will resist, oh, that's fake, that's AI. And after a while, it's going to get juicy. And the kids growing up now, it'll be normalcy for them. This is no joke, y'all. This has been in effect for a very long time, in my opinion, my humble opinion. And the bottom line is, this is 2025. Facebook has been around for 20 years. YouTube has been around for 20 years. It's a part of our lives. There are good things shared. But if you're so-called radical, which means you're against the system of deception, they will shadow ban you. They will destroy you. They may let you think that you have millions of subscribers and you don't. Right? Maybe they'll put low numbers and you really have your name out there. And they don't like that, to discourage you. I know a whole lot about these things. That way, when it comes to social media, that's why I'm not discouraged. I'm sitting here just talking to you just like you were sitting in front of me in the table in front of me or on the table in front of me. That's their game. That's what they do. But we've given up so much of ourselves that they can now replicate it. Now they have an app I see where you can take two separate pictures. In this demonstration, I saw a male and a female staring straight into the camera, which we saw is staring straight at us. And AI got so good that the two people now, they have them moving, turning their head and kissing each other deeply, mouth to mouth, tongue to tongue. What if they wanted to accuse you of sexually harassing someone and they have an AI image of you grabbing someone's breast, grabbing them on the backside, or actually the RAPE word, and they bring this up in a court? Maybe there was a computer camera on or whatever, and they say that this is what they saw. It's scary. I'll tell you one thing on a side note, keep receipts. When you go to the ATM and you draw out money, keep that receipt. Make a paper trail as much as you can every single day. If you pass by a supermarket and the owner of the supermarket is outside sweeping and you know him by first name or you know him, say good morning. Ask him a question that you may not really want to ask, but it's going to stamp in his mind that you passed there at 8:12 in the morning. Do you think it's going to rain today? Nah, I don't think so. He'll remember that. So if they say that you did something at 8:12 in the morning somewhere else, you can call him as a witness. Yes, she walked past me or he walked past me and asked me if it was going to rain. All receipts that have the time on it, keep them every day. I'm not saying you have to date them, but yeah, keep them in a folder. Staple them together and put a date on it so you can grab it easy. It's going to come down to that right now, people. Like the Wi-Fi we don't see, there's a lot of things around us. They've given the governments the gifts of their technology to use against us again, to elevate them and to use against us. J. Edgar Hoover would be in bliss right now with AI and all the ways of surveillance and social media, or he would be jacking people up with fake images. But at the end of the day, remember, I feel this is a planet of harvest. There are things here, not just from other planets. There are things here from other realms. They have always been here, but since the fabric that separated the physical from the spiritual has been ripped and torn apart and released all types of demonic forces on this earth that we don't see, they are advanced. They're smarter and stronger than us. They're evil, but we can't fight these things on our own, especially when we're being sold out by the government. That was all over the place, but that's pretty much the way I feel. This planet is being used to harvest human souls for the consumption of demons. Bottom line. Now, you heard me in my different points and different angles, and probably going to stop this recording and all of a sudden, like, oh man, I should have brought up another point. But I want to hear your feedback. I'm not going to make this too long. I was going to go to bed, but I said, you know what? Let me stay up and just throw this out here and see. I'm going to be coming back with some more stuff tomorrow. But with all I've said, let me know what you think. Where do you think I'm wrong? Where do you think I'm right? Lancescurv out. Much love to you all. I love you all. Make sure to go to Lancescurv.com. That's where all of our work is. And when I'm shut down on other platforms, you'll see everything there. Lancescurv.com. Much love to you all. Peace.
Lancescurv.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.